Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing good old fashioned Subbro guide. I'm actually going to go through all three specs this week. We're going to get it done. I just kind of just keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Now, not much has changed, but regardless, I think you guys enjoy the guides, so I'm going to keep making them. If they get views, there's no point in not doing it. So that being said, we're going to get straight off with the gear here. So I'm actually under geared in terms of what you're supposed to be running. Um, so you're basically, I will have a link down below that will give you the full extent of gear. I'm actually probably going to use Najki. So Naj is alt rogue. So you want the crafted weapons. I'm waiting on my crafted belt, and then you want crafted hands. So instead of these, you want crafted, and instead of these, you want crafted. And this is pretty much, otherwise, I'm in best in slot. So, you want those engineering goggles, want the, all of that. You're trying to stack as much mastery. As you can see, without that extra mastery, I'm only at 84, when I should be at like 94 plus. So that's pretty much the gear. Again, it'll be down below. You'll be able to check it out at full extent of it. So, and by the way, I do have a really bad sinus, so, that's why my voice might be sounding different. Regardless, we're gonna keep it going. So, when it comes down to talents, what I like to do is I like to run cheat death when it's sub rogues or it's double DPS. For example, if I'm playing 2v2 arena, I face a sub rogue, I'm gonna run cheat death. Even in 3v3 arena, I'm gonna run cheat death. It's just way too good in smoke bomb because a lot of times people will kill you in smoke bombs, but with cheat death, some of the times you'll actually be saved. For a few seconds, you're just unkillable. So your healer gets just, because it's usually 1 second off before your healer can top you before you die. So that's why I run cheat death versus double DPS or any sub rogue. Now in 3v3 arena, I'm only running it versus sub rogue or maybe assassination rogue. Otherwise, I'm not running it. You're just gonna run the lifts in this. Now for your PvP talent, you're always running smoke bomb and you're always running premeditative maneuver. So I actually probably said that wrong, but whatever. Thick as Thieves. So I like to run Thick as Thieves. So when I'm not disarming, for example, if I'm not facing an arms warrior, or if I'm playing Rogue Mage, I'm running this 24/7, no matter what. Now, if it's double DPS, you can switch it out for disarm. That's the only thing I can say, because obviously you don't really need more damage when you're playing Rogue Mage, and especially when you're playing 2v2, just because the game's gonna end in like it's gonna end in like 30 seconds. So you might as well run everything you can to help. So if you're facing double DPS, run disarm. Otherwise, I run Thick as Thieves. If your healer's doing a ton of damage, run tricks the entire time. This basically will allow your teammates to do a ton of damage. So if you have a healer that's pumping, run tricks. It's really, really good. You'll make them do unhealable damage and it'll help you. So yeah, just run tricks. But again, if you're not feeling comfortable with it, just run disarm or death from above. So what I like to do, this is your normal. If I'm facing a warrior, I'll run disarm sometimes. But obviously, if I'm playing rogue mage, I'm always running tricks. But keep in mind when you're not running tricks, make sure to swap back this talent. So we swap back here. So that's pretty much how that goes. So we're swapping back and forth. So if we're not running tricks, we're swapping it. So you can run disarm and death from above. I use run death from above. I run death from above when I'm playing with a healer that doesn't do damage. So if I'm facing a Pharaoh Druid, a caster, I'm running death from above. However, if I'm playing with a mage or a healer that does a ton of damage, I'm running tricks. And as you can see, it's red right now, so we have to swap back. That is your PvP talents, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty much that. It's just that basic. It's just those three that you're looking at. So if you're playing Rogue Mage or you're playing threes or Solo Shuffle, you're looking to run tricks. But if you don't feel comfortable using it, just run Disarm or Death from Above. So that's pretty much that. So that's the talents. That's the all that good stuff. So now we're gonna go to the add-ons and then we're gonna go to the macros. Um, I've seen a lot of people try to run Ability Team Tracker. I would advise not to run this because apparently, like, I've had it for so long at the beginning, it was actually good, it's already set. But for some reason, when people download it, it goes in the middle of your screen, and it's like it'll be annoying. So, big debuffs basically will show the effects on their face. So as you can see, it's showing it up on their face here. Now I do see their DR on the side as well. So not only do I see it on the S Arena, I see it on the side. I want to see my own DR, but it's not like the biggest deal for me, so it's whatever. So big debuffs really good to have. Damage detail or meter, you kind of already know this. I've already said it so many times. So this basically just shows the damage. You can go in and you can see, who's breaking my CC. So if you go with the miscellaneous and then CC breaks, you'll see who's breaking the CZ, whether it's your secret technique or something like that. You can see everything. So that's really nice to have. Um, Diminish basically tracks the enemy team. So if you're looking just to have an extra DR tracker, that's what that does. So diminishing returns is it's okay to have. Again, I have it on the S Arena, but like just having it up here as well is not bad because obviously while you're looking at this guy, you know when he's off DR, so you don't have to keep looking back and forth. So you can get both of them, whatever you want to do. Um, we have nameplate cooldowns. Basically shows their cooldowns above their head. Now I do that mainly because I'm just used to it and I'm used to playing melee. Even when I'm playing caster, I'm used to it. You know, I already know what they're gonna click and stuff, so I kind of know. I also run Omnibar, so when I'm healing, I'll track their main CDs down here. So like kicks, shadow steps, blinds, any major cooldown, I'll be tracking down here. So I don't have to, because if I'm far away, I'm not gonna be able to just look at them. So um, omnicd will show all their cooldowns on the side as well. So if you're looking to just get a CD or an add-on that shows that, just get Omnibar. Don't worry about ability team tracker. So just get omnicd. It'll show all your guys' CDs. S Arena updated too by Sammers. Now I don't know when the add-ons are going away, but until they do, you might as well use them. So when you download it, go to Xvic and then click it. Then you can just copy paste mine. So just pause it and you can pretty much just copy and at least has something where you can see it might not be the best, but it'll be, chilling. So that's pretty much the add-ons. Now I do have Trufigcd, basically shows my cooldown. So again, when I'm pressing CDs, you'll see it down below, and that's pretty much that. So it's nothing crazy, but it does, it's whatever, and it looks like my belt's done. So that's pretty much the add-ons. I'm gonna get this belt real quick here. Boom. Yeah, nice. So we got our belt, so we're one step ahead. We got some more mastery, and again, we got a little bit mastery out of that, so that's nice. The next one we're going with is going to be macros. A lot of people ask me for this. So if we're gonna, so I have a secret technique macro. You only need this for certain builds. Now I just run it no matter what, in case in the future that it changes. So you don't have to have it right now, but in the future it's good to have Thistle Tea macro do it. But again, it's not needed because we're not running Thistle Tea with this build, so it doesn't matter. We have tricks here. So what I like to do is depending on what, if you're playing a solo shuffle or if you're playing with people and their parties indifferent. So if I'm party one and my party two or my party one is targeting the healer. So if I use this and it's using it on the healer, I want to switch this. And you can basically go, all you have to do to switch this is go so party one, party two, and then party three. And it'll target that person. So keep that in mind when you're using tricks macro. You have to switch to party one or it's going to hit whoever's at that thing. So if the guy's party one, it's always going to go to him. Keep that in mind. We have the stat macro. This is a very old school macro. This is almost a very, very old macro. This is over a 10-year-old macro. I've somehow kept it this entire time. I've kept the original, so it's been pretty cool. So there's a lot of different variations of the stat macro. I just use this one because I've been using it for almost a decade. So even when I was a twink and Legion and all that good stuff. So that's that. We have the burst macro. So this clicks our Ferocity, it clicks our symbols, our shadow blades, and our shadow dance. So it clicks all of our abilities for us. And I'm usually clicking this. I do have an offset macro, but I'm normally just clicking my burst macro just because, it doesn't really matter that much. Because by the time all your burst comes up, it's like you're going to have it set in place. So that's pretty much that. And that's pretty much it for the macros. So again, I don't really have much macros. This is literally what I'm playing with on this account. So again, we have two macros, and the other macro, or technically we have three, but this one doesn't even matter. So we have the tricks, sap, and we have the burst macro. That's it. So now that we've gotten down with all that stuff, we're gonna do a quick rotation on these target dummies, and then get in the game, and I'm gonna explain it the best way, shape, or form. Alrighty, so basically explain this rotation. We're going to be in stealth. Now usually you'll see that we're sapping or we're blinding. A lot of people don't know what to do if they cannot sap the healer. Your first instinct should be this. If you cannot sap the healer, you have to either cheap shot him or you have to blind him. If you're playing with a mage, you can cheap shot. So then the mage can sheep off of it. However, a lot of times that won't happen. So what you can do is, this is a high level play. But if you stun him and then blind him off the stun, you'll be able to sap him off the blind. So you know, keep in mind if you know if they come out now, this is a bad thing and a good thing. Now, if you're in 2v2 arena, don't do this. This is only a solo shuffle strat because you don't want to stun the DR in case you're gonna swap them. So your best bet is in 2v2 arena and stuff like that. Immediately blind the healer. So if you cannot sap the healer, blind him, and then you can either try to vanish sap off that. Now, usually when I blind, I'll do my smoke bomb with my blind. So basically, if I blind him when I have smoke bomb on the target, by the time the smoke bomb is still going, he'll be 1 second away from being sapped. So while he's running in, I'll be able to sap, and you'll see my videos. That's how I sap people out of air because of smoke bomb. That being said, the rotation is going to be cheap shot, burst macro, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate, and we're symboling because we get a debuff, and you'll see the debuff come up. And the reason we're using it on the eviscerate because we're using one on the secret technique, so we need to use another one. So you'll see here, we'll do our go. So we burst, use our burst, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. Past that, you can just put up a rupture and your go. That's how you do your go right there. So again, we didn't really hit that hard of an eviscerate. We did hit a 2 mil secret technique. Again, it's really just RNG. So you'll either hit really hard or you'll get bad crits and that's it. What I could advise as well is don't stop after that target. Immediately swap. So especially in 3v3 arena or solo shuffle, you go on this guy and then go the other target, like swap, because your flag's still stacking. So while you're on this guy, you're stacking your flag, and then once he heals up or uses a big defensive cooldown, immediately swap to the other guy and try to get cooldowns from him too, because you'll do a ton of damage. So your goal is basically, okay, I start on this guy, and then I swap to this guy and I try to get more cooldowns. Your goal is to get cooldowns, not necessarily killing the opener. A lot of the times, people will use every CD in the game, kind of like the peekaboo strat where he uses everything just in the opener. You don't want to do that. Because 9 times out of 10, anybody above 1800 is not usually dying in the opener. It's just not, Rogue's not that good, but it is good enough to actually do something at least. So, again, cheap shot, burst, flag, and the reason we're shadow striking is to get this debuff. So we want this, and by the time our go's done, this is going to be completed. And you'll see while I'm doing this, you'll see that it is completed. So, here, we'll go on different target here. So cheap shot, burst, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. Now, if you get another eviscerate, go ahead and use it. Otherwise, you're putting a rupture. So again, we're bursting, flag, shadow strike, secret technique, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. And at this point, we can eviscerate again because we got one, and then we can just rupture, swap to this guy, and you'll see how much damage I do on this guy here. So here we're just doing shadow strikes and we're restunning. That's it. And you'll see our burst is still going because we have flag. So we can put a rupture up, and then our go's done. So as you can see, flag's at 70%, and we basically were able to hit 2 targets. Hit a 6.2 million eviscerate. So again, when you're doing your go, you're trying to symbols. It's a little bit difficult because I'm manually clicking symbols on that eviscerate. It's again, this is more of a high level play. Otherwise, just do the rotation. You don't have to worry about the symbols if you cannot get it. Because again, until you're used to the actual rotation, I wouldn't bother trying to do this because it's just gonna be way too hard on you. So, that's what I can advise. And the best thing that you could do is you could possibly symbols it into eviscerate, but then you're gonna be using it on every eviscerate. So it's like I wouldn't do that. So that's your rotation, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get in a game, and I'm gonna basically show you in real time, and I will meet you there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we found a healer. Now, again, keep in mind, these people are not very, very good. So, obviously, you know, it's gonna be a lot harder for us, but at the same time, it's whatever. So again, I just play with LFG, it's whatever, I don't care too much. So here we're gonna run in, he puts his support down, we're just gonna immediately open on this guy, do all of our burst damage on him. We're gonna evasion, because the druid's gonna try to open on us right there. So we're doing big damn symbols eviscerate here. Nice, we're gonna keep going on him. Nice, now we blind him. We go on this guy here. Okay, he looks like he clones, that's okay. Yeah, so now we run here. So we basically get trinket, we get orb, we get a lot of cooldowns. I'm gonna just kite. I'm gonna go in stealth here for a second. We're gonna try to sap him again, always looking for those random saps like that. So all it takes is a second to get those saps. So here we're gonna bomb him late, so we're gonna bomb him. Sap him again. Again, looking for those saps. Sap again. He gets a really good clone. We'll cheap shot him off this, so cheap shot. And again, that's how easy it is to get a sap. And always look for those saps out of air because a lot of times you'll get them. Looks like he ended up. I don't know how he didn't land that kick, but whatever. So here we're just doing big damage. We're keeping our reps up, and we're just farming our dance back. That's all we can really do. We'll just cloak this root because I don't think he'll dispel, so it's whatever. So again, we're just waiting for our Kinney setup here, which is going to be right now. So we're going to Kinney shot. And, oh, nice. So right now we're going to Kinney. He gets a really good clone here. We're going to Secret Technique, and we kill him. And again, that's just how easy it is. It only takes a few seconds, and you can easily take out somebody. So your main goal, again, these are not the versus the best player, so it might be a little bit different. But it's the same generic version. So when you see me sap, and the reason I know when to sap is in your mind, eventually you'll learn when 6 seconds is up. They have 6 seconds. So if you see that somebody's just running around a corner or something, just like he was trying to hit me, and he's not hitting or healing anybody, you're gonna be able to sap out of air. And that's really all it takes. As you can see, we got cooldowns, we got skin. You're able to get cooldowns from that. But you're running to symbols eviscerate. And as you can see, I hit a very fat eviscerate. You're looking to use symbols all on eviscerate. So that extra symbols that you have, you're using symbols on that eviscerate. Because usually you'll have 2 symbols. Alrighty, we found a healer. Again, these are not the greatest players, but at the same time, they as long as they do solid healing, we're alright. So when you're facing a Wrestler as a sub-rogue, go with the Wrestler. Almost 9 times out of 10, the only target that's going to die here is going to be the Druid. So what I like to do is we're focusing the Druid, but we're also going to be swapping back and forth. So we're going to get on the Druid. Once he gets away, immediately swap to the Hunter, hitting whoever we can hit. But the main kill target is Druid. Anytime you face a Druid, the only way to beat them is by killing them. So here we're not gonna sprint since they're both gonna be in stealth, and we're gonna use our sat macro to find these guys. So he's gonna stealth probably right now. Actually, nope, he doesn't. So we can Shadow Strike, do our burst go on him, flag. This is where we do big damage. So you do normal burst rotation as you can see, and then we're just pumping, doing unhealable damage here. And we're just gonna kill him through this if we can. And it looks like he just died. So again, we just have unhealable damage. We go up above, and again, it does somewhat damage, but that's pretty much all it takes right there. And again, just a fat, very fat. And the eviscerates weren't even that fat. Those weren't even crit. Those weren't even good crit eviscerates right there. And again, Druids die because really there's nothing he can do. Once he's that low HP, they pretty much lose the game normally. And the damage comes out so quick that it's very hard to react. But we end up taking the dub, and again. Alright, for the next game here, so I'm actually voiceovering this, so this video is going to be a little bit different since I couldn't get any more clips of this, so I did do a few more, and these are going to be the voiceovers. So what we're going to do when you're playing Rogue Mage, your main goal is to normally just CC the healer, go DPS. Normally, healers other than like Evoker and Wrestle Druid don't really die. So here we're going to wait for the Hunter to come out, immediate slap. If we cannot sap, we're going to blind. So here he ends up sheeping. I didn't even see him sheeping, so I ended up breaking it. So this was like a bad map for me, but I'm going to upload it anyway. So, because even if they look bad on me, I don't really care. And you'll see in real time. You can mess up and still win games. So here we blind off that, and we're just keeping the go going. Even though we don't have a stun, and it's DR'd, we're just keeping it going. So we end up getting Turtle, we get Life Swap. So again, just from that one blind, we ended up getting another major cooldown, which is all you're trying to do. So here, we gouge the Hunter just to stop him from doing anything. He might try to trap me. I cloak the trap in case he tries to do it. Normally, he would try to trap. Here, we do a big opener. At this point, my guy is going to get cheap shot. Again, he sheeps out of air. That would normally never happen. The guy would easily just death it or fade it, and he'd be fine. But again, I broke the sheep, not knowing that he was going to actually get it. So, that being said, though, we have every CD, pretty much. They have nothing. He did pet sack, so they have literally nothing. So, at this point, we need to get ready to put a rupture up, and then get ready to, when my guy blocks, we need to be prepared to kick the MD if possible. So here we do a go. So here we sheeps and then the breaking. He gets a full kick. After this guy's pretty much dead. He's pretty much toaster oven, and he gets taken out. Now we still have to worry about the healer. A lot of people will go out and try to kill him. I would wait until the end. My guy's not running heal block this game, so he ends up, when you're not running heal block as a mage in 2v2 arena, it is the worst case scenario because in dampening, your shields don't do enough to do anything, and you don't have heals other than block. So here we do a go on this guy, and again, I'm still dying, so we're both just dead. And the healer did more damage than the Hunter did, because obviously Disc Priest has a exploit. Basically, it's an exploit. Obviously, they're abusing the damage buffs that they got, and they're doing unhealable damage. Pretty much how they were with the first time. But here we get a good sheep. I think he ends up deathing it, and again, this is what I would expect for him to death it. Because if a sheep out of nowhere, usually you would have to fake death, and then you'd have to fake fade. That being said, at this point, the game's over for them. He has to kill the mage right now in order to even stand a chance, and we're both eating. At this point, he decides to go me. That's the worst case scenario, because I have vanish. So he should have went the mage. That being said, obviously the game's pretty much over. He leaves. He knows that he can't win. This next game will show you how mini CC can end up winning you games. So we're gonna sap the shaman, immediately cheap shot the warrior, do our burst rotation. Even if they blade storm the opener, it's okay. Just keep doing your burst like you would. Just remember you're not gonna be stunning until after the blade storm. That being said, you're looking to do as much CC as possible. So you're gonna sap off your sap. If you can resap, great. If you can't, immediately blind off the blind. If he trinkets, immediately stun. You'll see that we just get so much CC on this guy, and just one mistake on their part we can win. So it takes them to use every CD before we can win. So here we sap him here. We do a really good opener, so we cheap shot. He ended up didn't blade storm, so we're not gonna secret technique because we're super close. We're gonna bomb late possibly. No, we're actually gonna hold blade. So we're gonna. It looks like we're holding it. So here we blind his trinket. At this point, he's pretty much dead. Off this, I can cheap shot him. The game's really over at this point. And they almost lived, but not enough to survive. The mistake he did was trinketing the sap or the sheep. Um, you needed a save trinket. Your warrior has to survive on his own. He has to use all of his cooldowns, and then you have to sit. You have to sit the sap and sit the blind. Maybe you can trinket the blind, but I would suggest just have your warrior click at like literally 100%. Because every rogue mage is going to do all the bursts in the opener, so you might as well just use everything. And other than like trinket, maybe even use trinket if it's ever C. So here we sap, we get this guy out, we immediately open on the druid. My guy had a really hard time hitting the druid, but we ended up getting trinket for free. At this point, we're just finishing up our burst go. I ended up pre-evasioning, thinking he was trying to hunt on me. Well, guess what? He didn't. So here I blind the healer. We get trinket from the DH, so great. And he could have ringed off that, but it's okay, not a big deal. So at this point, we're going to put a rupture up, and then we're going to run away. Always keep a rupture up, or try to, reset your dance. That's the best case scenario. So here we open on this guy with a Shadow Strike to get combo points, and this is where we just do unhealable dam by ourselves, and the mage comes in clutch. So here we end up cloaking, so we can't peel, and the game's pretty much over. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. It's been X, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.